Happy Friday, Denver. I am your host, Jon Ekstrom. You just heard the Frickashinas, who played last weekend, and it was amazing. If you're here for 420, you're late. I'm not surprised, because if you're here for 420, you probably enjoy weed and thus are late to many, many things. We are part of the Mile High Left Network. Be sure to get all your great pods there, including content from Westward's best influencer, Stoned Appetite himself, Kip Wilson. He's part of our team. It is an amazing network where you get all of your pods. I am not alone here. I am joined by Kevin Batstone.
Happy Friday, Denver. The edibles have worn off, and I'm back to drinking beer.
That'll happen. The edibles will wear off eventually. If you have too many, just drink some water, eat a little chocolate, lay your big, dumb head down on the desk. Next to me, he wouldn't know anything about this, is Arthur Rawe.
Hello, world. I'm so happy to be joined here by my good friends, amazing co-hosts. Let's kick this off, baby.
That's right. Okay, so we had an epic weekend last weekend. I was not here. You guys were. Let's talk about the Frickashinas first, because once again, maybe they're coming across your screen. I don't know. Maybe I'm messing up my producer. But here's the deal. They played an epic album release party. Thanks for the invite, fellas. How was it?
Man, what a fun time. It was really cool. I love the Summit. I'd been to the Summit since pre-COVID, so they had remodeled it. It looked a lot different, but the vibes were really good in there. And they packed, the moon room. Basically, all the moon room is they just kind of block off the main stage, with like a curtain. I don't know if you've visited a show
not the
there.
moon room.
It's pretty cool, man. I really was impressed with the set. It was packed. Crowd was good. There was a man dressed like a banana up in the front.
Dude, Banana Suit guy. Yeah. He's at all the punk shows.
Is he? Oh, so you know Banana Suit
guy. I know.
Guy.
Yeah,
he's like a legend.
I've chatted with him. He identified all my tattoos on site because they're all punk shit.
Yeah.
He goes, well, that one's obviously Rancid. That one's Less Than Jake. That one's Rise Against. I'm like, dude, you are a legit
so
punk
this
guy.
dude's like a punk
He's
legend.
a Denver legend.
Oh, dude,
I had no idea.
Yeah, he showed out for sure. He was in the pit for a bit, putting pork on the fork, having a good time with his nanner.
He was leading the pit.
Oh,
he
dude,
was.
Yeah.
He was the one getting riled up, man.
And he'll be like live streaming from the pit. So
he was in it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He was
Brought
good,
good energy.
He was good.
I love Banana Suit Guy.
Yeah, really cool. But yeah, it was fun to hang out with those guys, man. It was really cool. We got to go up on stage and introduce the Happy Friday song, which was really fun, and being a part of that, man. Such a great band, such a great time. Can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, awesome show. I'll always go check out a Frickashina show, and it's just fun. The punk atmosphere is fun. Everyone is enjoying their time, and plus the pizza there, phenomenal at the Summit.
Oh, nice. All right.
I didn't get a slice. You did.
I had to go in for it.
Do you know the pizza at the Marquee Theater?
It sounds
okay.
like
Well,
famous.
then moving on, because I want to know whose is better. Maybe we should do a taste test.
Marquee versus Summit.
Yeah.
I haven't had
two
it
great
there. I haven't
venues.
had it there.
Two great pieces of pizza.
Let's go. Mash up. Summit versus Marquee.
I ate some great food. I was in Seattle. I apologized to Justin actually before I left. I'm like, dude, you guys put your album release show at exactly the wrong time. And so it's like, fuck. Okay. So I missed it, but I missed it for a good reason. Kev, I sent you a bunch of stuff from the Museum of Pop Culture because I know you're a Terminator 2 guy.
Yeah.
And so Museum of Pop Culture, fellas, if you haven't been, it's like my favorite museum. There was a horror movie exhibit. There was a sci-fi exhibit. There was, what was it called? Contact High. It's a visual history of hip hop. So there's all these awesome fucking photos. Like, okay, so the album, I think it's Stank Anya. The cover with Andre and Big Boy. There was outtakes from that photo session, which was really cool. Or Check Your Head by the Beastie Boys. Okay. There was like photos from that photo shoot that eventually became that album cover. It was fucking badass. Like,
that's cool.
It was one of my favorite museums I think I've ever been to.
How big is it?
It's huge. It's massive. It's like 3 floors. It's gigantic.
So it's like it takes a couple hours to get through.
Oh yeah. Definitely dedicate some time to it.
You go in with a full stomach, and
no, they got a good restaurant there too.
Oh, dude,
yeah, and beers.
What'd you have?
Beer.
I didn't get food there.
You got beer.
Yeah, I did.
That would be my move.
I also got beer at the top of the Space Needle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and we caught a really beautiful day. It was like the only sunny day we were there, but we went to the top of the Space Needle. We took photos like dipshit influencers. Follow me at JOATpod on Instagram if you want to see them. They're really funny.
His duck face is adorable.
That's how it's done. Also, shout out to M-Bar, which overlooks South Lake Union. Phenomenal. Seattle is one of America's finest cities. Let's put it that way. We had an amazing time.
Well, you're lucky that you had some good weather out there, because it can get dreary for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
right.
super depressing, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. We caught one really good day. The rest of the time it was kind of cold and drizzly, but you know.
Did you just pick like random dive bars and go check that out? That's one of my favorite things to do in a new city.
Yes.
You
We
meet
went to
some
one
cool
called
people.
Unicorn. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, the way I described it, all those insane ways. I may have been a little bit on Bob Marley when I described all that.
You just can't help yourself from writing.
No, I can't.
We were making jokes.
Oh, yeah, we
we
were
were
talking
making
about
jokes about you while you were gone. We're like, this guy is just such a fucking author. He just can't even help himself.
Well, dude, I thought of all these different ways of describing this fucking place because I'm
Yeah.
like, how do I describe this aesthetic? Here's 4 different ways. Yeah, so you're right. I can't help myself.
I enjoyed reading it for what
Good.
that's worth.
I'm glad to hear it.
So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you had a good time. I need to get up there. I've never been. You both have been now, so it's my turn.
All right. Speaking of pop culture, Regal Cinemas is closing a favorite theater here in Denner. In Denner? Denner. I don't know. That's the new name of this fucking city.
Denner.
Forget the V.
It's very large, and it's in Denver.
It is Largan in Denner. So let's go to Regal Cinemas with Kevin Batstone.
Yeah, the Regal Cinemas. I've seen a lot of movies there over the years. Right, Hampden and 25, guys. You can't miss it. You be driving through, you see the movies coming up. You know, they advertise for years. I mean, since I've lived here, that's been like one of the theaters I would always go to because I live within the vicinity. Most recently, Art and I saw Avatar 2 there. when
On that
came
giant
out.
screen?
Yeah.
On the massive
Fat.
screen, 3D. It was epic.
was
I
good.
did not see this coming, but, you know, Regal's basically, they're going through a restructuring process to avoid bankruptcy and things of that nature. We know there's some pressure on the cinema. You know, AMC is doing their thing. It's just a different world now. I mean, movies are going from theater to streaming within 2 months.
Super
These
fast,
guys
yeah.
felt the pressure. They needed to close 39 locations around the country, and unfortunately, this one was on the chopping block.
It sucks that it's this one, man, because this one, I saw Armageddon there in 1998. So Bruce Willis drilling into an asteroid.
Yeah.
Me and my friend were so geeked. We were such Michael Bay fans back there, which is embarrassing now because Michael Bay is sort of a pariah of a director. I also saw The Hateful Eight there because it was like the only place in town that was showing it in 70 millimeter.
Oh, yeah.
Which Tarantino was like, go
was a
see
good
this
movie.
in 70 millimeter. Hateful Eight, I didn't really care for it.
I mean, it wasn't his best movie. It wasn't the best one.
Tarantino
that he
movies are
did.
hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's less true for me just because I'm a Tarantino super freak. This one was a miss for me.
Yeah.
So
But-
what is your top Pulp Fiction?
Oh, God. Is
that what your top-
Yes, it is. Second is probably Inglourious Bastards. Third is, oddly enough, Jackie Brown.
I would agree with the first two.
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's just a sad deal. Art, I know you've seen a lot of movies there throughout the years. I remember you telling me you saw the original Avatar there.
I did.
And that's why it was important to see the second one there.
Yeah, I had
that's
to
cool.
continue the tradition. Great place, a lot of fun, but it does happen, and I support going to see movies. I went and saw the Mario Bros. Movie recently. That was
Still haven't seen it.
so much fun. What a
Trippy,
great
right?
time. Yeah, I microdosed mushrooms.
Okay, I was going to be subtle about it.
Yeah,
but
no, I don't mind being upfront,
Full send
honest
here
in
on
here.
Happy Friday.
Full
And
send.
hey, look, they're decriminalized in this state.
That's
so,
true,
So what
yeah.
do you want? You want to go see this movie on that? Is what I'm saying because it was fucking awesome.
All right, let's put a button on this one by saying a professor of film studies at MSU Denver said, it's a sad day for movies, it's a sad day for theaters, it's a sad day for Colorado. And I echo that. I mean, the Continental Theater was a landmark. Not to be confused with landmark theaters, but it was a
point.
landmark right off of,
Hampden and 25.
Hampden and 25. So.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with the space because it's pretty massive.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, when you drive by Hampden and 25, that's what you see.
They're
It's
probably
right
going to
there.
try to put apartments up there or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Like everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you do with an abandoned movie theater? I don't know.
They're going to have to demolish it.
You think? It's a nice
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to probably pull it down.
They're going to have to erect a new structure.
In my lifelong quest for irony, here comes our next segment, which is to say that theaters have largely been destroyed by Netflix and by streaming and by at home, but Netflix has a weird announcement coming up. Kev, you found this story.
Yeah, this is interesting, guys. And I remember when this started. It was like pretty exciting stuff. Netflix is going to end the DVD by mail service after 25 years. I remember when they first started doing it, the red envelope come right to your mailbox. And when it first started, I remember you didn't know what you were getting in there. Sometimes there was mispicks.
Oh, yeah, it was like a mystery.
Yeah, like the movie was wrong. You didn't order that one, or it was scratched to hell and didn't even play.
Yeah.
They had some bugs to work out back in the day before they went to streaming. But I remember that this was big. Like my dad and I were big fans of it. We'd order movies and we'd have to wait 2-3 days to get them. You know, everything's instant now.
Yeah.
So I definitely remember the DVD mail service. I haven't used it in a long time, but they're getting rid of it. It's obsolete now, guys. Everything is going streaming.
I didn't even think it still existed. Like 10 years ago, I didn't think it still existed. So
Well, our old people still exist.
Well, no, but still, the whole mailing of this,
Sure.
and I bet you there's people out there that still have their Netflix DVDs posted up at the crib. You know what's happening with those?
Yeah, maybe it's like that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry took out Tropic of Cancer, And then the Joe Bookman comes and finds him like all these years later and makes him pay that huge fine.
Oh, God.
Maybe they hired Joe Bookman to go track down these missing DVDs.
I wonder what the fine would be like on something like that.
Well, and how many people sat on the DVD and never mailed it back?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does that look like? Do you just get hit with a charge? I forget what that was because I was always a rule follower.
I never had it.
Didn't they charge
You
you
never
just
once
like,
had one delivered?
No, I never. No,
Even back in the early 2000s?
no. My wife, my now wife, at the time my girlfriend had it, so like she would get stuff and we'd go watch it, and so I was mooching off of her.
Oh, that's
so,
nice.
God love you, honey. Thanks.
We all lean on each other in this life.
That's oh, dude, I'll fucking kill you if you go down.
I will snuggle your burgundies so hard.
All right, let's talk alligators. So
Nice segue.
yeah, that's all
That
we
was
can do here.
John's best.
Yeah, it's definitely my best. I go right down Main Street. I just charge right the fuck down Main Street.
I love it. I respect that.
Thank you. So there was a fire at Colorado Gator Farm. This is about 20 miles from the Great Sand Dunes, but a fire in the middle of the night killed. It's a rescue too, so they
geez.
rescue a bunch of reptiles. They have cats, they have lizards, they have tortoises, parrots, all sorts of things. About 4:30 in the morning, a bunch of them died.
Oh, no.
The gators were all okay. The weirdest part about the Colorado Gator Farm is that it originally started as a fish farm. So this fish that they could not sell, they're like, how do we get rid of them? You know what? There's a hot spring here. Let's bring in alligators. What? So literally, seriously, they would get rid of these fish by feeding them to these alligators. So this became a gator rescue.
Wow.
In the middle of Colorado, it's the only one outside of like Florida, Texas, or I think California.
I didn't even realize we had one of these things.
I've heard of it before. Was it
Yeah.
like a fish hatchery?
Yeah.
Like they were trying to like produce fish and
Yeah,
sell
yeah.
them, and then they just couldn't.
Well, so any ones that they couldn't sell or something fucked up, like what
Became
do we
gator
do with
food.
all this? So they brought in gators, and
Wow.
I know all this because I did this on a bachelor party once.
That's sounds like a wild bachelor party.
Two of the guys, so the groom-to-be and his brother wrestled alligators.
Oh man.
And so, like, you start in this tiny tank. They're baby gators. They just swim around you. You pick them up with your hands. Then you go to the medium-sized gator tank, and you wrestle those. They teach you how to wrestle them.
And
Are
the
their mouths
gators,
taped?
like, yeah, I was about
No.
to say.
Oh, fuck
Their mouths
that.
are not taped.
No.
So you got to go mount these things and, like...
You grab them by the tail. You throw them between your legs, and then you basically straddle on top of them, and you get them by the fucking neck.
Yep.
And like if you grab them like right underneath, like right here, then they can't do anything.
Yeah.
And a gator knows once it's caught, it doesn't move.
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
And so to get up, you put your hand on their back, and they can't like move their head around very much. So you put your hand on your back, and then you back away. Here's the thing about this rescue. There's cobras, there's rattlesnakes, there's water moccasins. They're all in cages, like, and these animals that died, right?
yeah.
I did not equip myself well here.
Okay.
Because I am terrified of snakes.
Are you?
I hate them.
Yeah.
I owned
hate
one.
them.
I owned one.
Gross.
bit
I'd
me.
never sleep again.
Yeah, it was
if
not
there
good.
were a snake in my house. But so as I'm looking around, I'm on high alert at all times, right?
Okay.
And I see something moving out of the corner of my eye, and it's out of a cage. So I jump, and literally this 5-year-old girl goes, "That man's frightened by that turtle." It's a giant fucking tortoise just moving around like, nah,
It's a slow ass. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I got to get out of here. I'm just going to embarrass
I'm just
myself
going to go
further.
sit outside for a minute.
So needless to say, yeah, I'm going to go put my big dumb head down on the desk, right? I did not equip myself well here. That said, I had such fondness for this place because these fucking weirdos at this place are rescuing all these animals that no one else would take.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fantastic.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
and I'm sad that this happened for them.
Yeah, that is a sad deal. I mean, anytime zoos or rescues get compromised, it's obviously sad. There's a lot of care that goes into this for these animals, and unfortunately, some of them were lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen them in not in rescues, but I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen a crocodile, but I've seen a gator before. But would I ever wrestle an alligator? I don't think so.
I mean, you got to be kind of a thrill junkie to do that. And one thing that I kind of find evolutionary about this fire and the fact that all the gators survived. I mean, are you seeing where I'm going with that?
Well, they're outside, though.
Oh.
It was a building that caught on fire.
Oh, okay. So there weren't gators inside because you know how they've been alive since dinosaurs. So I'm like, of course.
I see where you're going,
I'm like,
yeah.
Of course those things survived a fire.
No,
I
that's
mean, they're definitely prehistoric.
yeah, dude. I mean, it's like you can peek into the ancient past when you look at a gator, which is fucking awesome. Like gators are amazing.
They're pretty cool, man.
So
Fire and also the stars.
Have
I
you
would
eaten
say.
gator? Have you eaten it?
Yes,
like
I have.
gator tail
It's
or
tough.
seared gator steak.
it's like chicken, but
tuna flavor.
a little chewier.
Yeah, and like a hint of tuna.
It's like a little rubbery chicken,
Yeah.
I think it's good.
something like that.
I had it at like a a fair, like a county fair or some shit when I lived in Houston.
I had it in New Orleans. It was good.
It was on a stick.
Gator on a stick.
Yeah.
That sounds like some Texas shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there was also crawfish there.
Ooh, crawdads.
As you might, which are not for me. Mud bugs ain't for me.
Yeah, no mud bugs.
Okay, nature's wonders, alligators, also the stars. You mentioned that you were trying to segue, and we fucked it up. So.
Oh no, you're running the MC.
No, I know, but you teed it up perfectly
Because it is timeless, right? You can look into the gator's eyes. It's timeless.
Look down and then look up.
Fire, I also consider to be timeless.
Well, sure.
And then the stars. And so what's going on is, for the stargazers out there, you can rejoice because the Lyrid meteor shower has returned, and it's at its peak right now. And this is basically going on for the next 2 weeks and around 9 p.m. So obviously, if you want to go check it out, it's recommended to get out of the city lights, somewhere where there's not so much light pollution. Yeah. But I think this stuff is really cool. When I was a kid, my grandmother had gifted me like this stargazing kit, and so we lived on 5-acre property, so a lot of land, not a lot of light around, and so we would go hang out in the front yard at night and go look at the stars. So
that sounds cool.
I think that it's pretty fun. Have y'all done much stargazing yourselves or interested in any of that?
I myself haven't. My wife loves this stuff. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if I'm ever like smoking weed, she cannot talk to me about the universe because it's too much for me and I freak out. Like literally, like it like some Mike Rowe narrated shit comes on and I just stare at it like this. And I'm like, no, can't do it. Nope.
Not in the right headspace.
So like I gotta be sober for it.
Yeah.
My daughters are into it. We bought them a telescope. We gotta get it working. So yeah, you have in the rundown, like, would we do this? Yeah, we totally should.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take a look at them. I've never seen the rings of Saturn, though, through a telescope. Actually, maybe I have.
I haven't seen the rings of Saturn. I've definitely seen a good view of Jupiter. You know, you can see like the spot on it. Definitely some good views of Mercury, Venus, the obvious ones, Mars. But yeah, growing up on, Lake Winnipesaukee, it was dark, so we would see the stars kind of reflect and the moonlight reflect off the water, which was really cool. But honestly, the greatest place that I stargazed was up in Como, Colorado, which is just outside of Fairplay, South Park area.
Okay.
I went up there.
Oh, that sounds good.
Found a real rural Airbnb where I was doing shooting and stuff.
A what?
Rural.
Rule?
Yeah.
Real rural.
Real rural.
Oh, like rural?
Rural.
Rule?
Yeah, like
rural.
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 Real rural.
Rural.
Say that 3 times fast.
No.
So yeah, in any case, I found this really cool Airbnb to do shooting at. It backed up to the Bureau of Land Management, and it was just dark, man. Like, you could just see everything up there. It was fantastic. That was my favorite place to stargaze.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
and that's like dark sky down there too.
Oh yeah.
So that sounds phenomenal. Mm-hmm. All right. Something else you can do at night, here's a dog shit transition for you, is go to the Irish Snug, which has now been bought by, and we'll pay tribute to historical Colfax, Stephen Alex, who is the owner of the Squire Lounge, X-Bar, and the Tight End. He is going to revamp the old Irish Snug, which is such a cool building, like right there on East Colfax, into Crazy Horse. Pays tribute to Sid King's Crazy Horse. The Sid King sign is inside the Owl Tavern, which, say it with me, is 5 blocks away from John's house. But the Irish Snug, a little further away, it's going to become the Crazy Horse. It was a strip club from 1940 to 1983. Elvis Presley used to hang out there. A bunch of celebrities, when they would come, they'd go to Sid King's Crazy Horse. And now it's just going to be the Crazy Horse. Sounds badass. I love it when you pay tribute to old Denver and old Colfax.
That is really cool, man, and it definitely does represent what Colfax has always been stereotyped for.
Totally.
And some of the clubs that, I don't know if you guys had a chance to ever visit Saturdays back when Saturdays was a Colfax
I went
club.
to Saturdays on my 18th birthday.
I can only imagine what that was like, but I remember my last visit there was watching a lot of pregnant women strip.
Oh, dear.
So that's what Saturdays was.
She's stripping for 2 now.
She was working hard.
I heard she had twins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there was no like door on the shitter in the men's room.
Great.
So you just be in there shitting, and people be like, "What's up, bro?"
And you're like, "Hey,
no privacy."
It's
just
like
let it slide.
It's like that Kyle Kinane bit where he's like in a place like that, and this like Latino gangster comes up to him. He's like, "Are you taking a chit, man?" and posts up for a high five. And he's like, "I had to high five a dude on the shitter."
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but this is cool, man. I like this idea. Strip clubs they're all right. They're kind of fun. There's some good ones down.
They're hit or miss, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
They're extraordinarily hit or miss.
I like Scarlett's. Scarlett's is a really cool one that's down the Glendale area.
I like to call it serotonins.
Art calls it serotonins. It's actually called Scarlett's. Let's get it right.
Yes.
Great looking women in there, of course. But I would go check this out. I like that it's going to encapsulate some Denver history.
No strippers, though.
Well, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, just I'm sure there's going to be like landmarks and maybe some imagery on the wall that would reflect what it once was.
Yeah, it's like going to Ophelia's Electric Soapbox down like by Coors Field. Have you guys ever been there? The place is amazing. Great place to catch a show. Brunch is unreal. My friend Michael Trundle does lip gloss down there now, I think, once a month. That's a cool place.
Lip gloss?
Yeah, Lip Gloss is like the longest running like dance party. It's an indie dance party.
Oh.
So he's a DJ. It's called Lip
Okay.
Gloss. Like the night.
I
the,
see.
The event is called Lip Gloss.
I see.
Interesting.
But Ophelia's used to be a peep show.
Okay.
So like nudie booth.
Yeah.
And so they have a bunch of all that like kind of paraphernalia and like old X-rated movie posters up in there and stuff. It's a cool place to get brunch, good cocktails, good shows. It's awesome.
John knows the spots.
I do.
You do know the spots. So one thing that I would say that's kind of related, but when you're taking these older buildings that have been utilized a bunch of times in the past, you're putting in kind of new guts in here, right? And I think that would be a fun remodel job. Like you're going in there, you have all this history around you, you're kind of rebuilding it, making it new while also respecting the old. And it's cool. Buildings create history, and it's just they live longer than us, and that's what's kind of wild about them. You know, there's all these histories inside the wall.
Yeah.
So great article, man.
Cool way to commemorate.
Yeah,
it.
that was a good one. I was happy to find that. That's courtesy of the Westward. Speaking of alcohol, New Terrain Brewing. We brought that up last week. They were the top-rated one according to Google reviews. They're out in Golden. I've been there a bunch of times. Their patio is amazing. Their view is terrific. They do killer beers. The owners now bought their building.
That's exciting.
That's cool. Like, so they're no longer beholden to a landlord. They are controlling their destiny a little bit more, which is always a good thing. And like, if we can keep local places local, man, fuck, that's a victory.
It is.
So kudos to New Terrain Brewing.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. I mean, usually people are leasing space and things of that nature. So to own the property itself and run your business out of it, it's a win-win.
Yeah, because New Terrain's been around for quite some time.
No, not real long,
like
dude.
5 years. I mean, I guess that's not quite some time, but like during the pandemic when a lot of places were tested and stuff. So that's awesome for them to be seeing that kind of success and to be able to get their own place. When are they in here?
What? No, they already have it.
Oh, it's already done.
Yeah, so they just bought it.
Oh, okay.
So like the landlords offered to sell it to them, and they go, yeah, dude, fuck, we'll buy it. And so like they raised some capital and they bought it.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so it was the place they're already operating out of.
They just bought it instead of leasing the property.
Sense.
Josh and Kaylee Robbins.
Yeah,
So that's
so
pretty cool,
they're no
man.
longer leasing it. They're no longer renting it. They own it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So which, be careful when your dreams come true because now that you're your own landlord, holy fuck.
Yeah, you got to pay for everything.
You know what it reminds me of? So you guys, Mitch Hedberg has a joke, right? Where he's like, I don't go to the Home Depot. You know why? Because I live in an apartment. I go to the apartment depot. It's a bunch of people standing around going, I don't have to fix shit. And I'm like, I kind of like that.
That's one thing I do like about living in an apartment.
I do
will
miss
say
that.
Yeah. Something breaks. I'm like, hey, can you come fix this? Like, yeah, we'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you got a good landlord too then.
Yeah, great landlord.
All right,
Yeah.
so we've talked about the Irish Snug. We've talked about Steve and Alex. We've talked about New Terrain Brewing. Art found a great article about 8 iconic restaurants only found here. Let's talk about those because we're Happy Friday. Denver, goddammit.
That's right.
Denver, baby, and these are unique restaurants to Colorado. I've been to most of these. I have not been to all of them. I will admit that. And this order is in no particular order, so it's not like a rank list or anything. So Buckhorn Exchange.
Check.
Fantastic.
Yeah, been there. You've been there. We've all been to that one.
We went there for your brother's birthday last year.
We
It was
did.
tremendous. The food's fantastic.
Game meat,
Another
great steaks.
place where you feel the history.
Yeah.
All the things on the wall, the trophies on
Totally.
the wall. It is such a cool place. You haven't been to the Buckhorn Exchange.
Is the menu still like a newspaper?
Yes.
Yeah,
Tight.
which is
It's
cool.
so badass.
I think I took one home actually as like a little
good.
souvenir. But you know, I was on the fence about the bison ball chips. You know?
Oh, the Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
'cause
love
they had them
Rocky
in
Mountain
like they
oysters.
had them in like chip form.
Yeah, but that's too. I mean, they call them.
That's not unusual.
If,
isn't.
if it wasn't for the dipping sauce, I don't know. It was
just cocktail sauce.
Yeah, but it helped. It helped.
It does help.
I like Rocky Mountain oysters, but that's another story.
I think they're fine. You get a wrong one, you're chewing it a little too long.
Yeah, it's a
then
little-
your mind starts to wander, and you go, nah.
Either it's making me robust or it's doing something else to me.
You're eating a bull's nads.
That was
So
perfect.
next we got Sam's number 3.
I'm there like once a week.
And yeah, they have multiple locations.
Yeah.
Good green chili.
Yes, they do. Yeah, in Glendale, because my daughter has her drum lessons on Monday night. I usually just go to Sam's, get a bowl of green chili and a beer.
So good. That's right by you, Art.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's walking distance. It's actually 2 blocks away.
Oh, 2
For
blocks.
me. Yeah.
Oh,
But
well, Art
big-
wins this week.
Those are big city blocks though.
Oh, yeah, no, those
Yeah.
are big down
Massive.
in Glendale.
Yeah.
All right, Gaetano's. You guys been there?
I haven't been to Gaetano's.
I have not.
That's north side. That's old like mafia Italian.
It's definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're going up that way and you're not having lunch at Vic Lombardi's house or Vic Lombardi's parents' house, go to Gaetano's. You'll get some authentic Italian.
Love it.
A question. So I forget places' names all the time. No surprise to you, I'm sure.
No, that's not surprising.
Kevin knows because of live action. But maybe I have been to Gaetano's. Where are the cross streets on that one?
That one's like 38th and fuck.
Okay, no,
Tejon, Zunai, something like
totally
that.
haven't been to that
Christ,
one.
I don't know.
I definitely haven't.
But close into the Cherry Creek area, Glendale area we were just mentioning, is the Cherry Cricket.
Oh yeah,
I've-
there's 2 of those.
I've been there a good amount of times.
I haven't been there either.
It's really good burgers.
Oh, shit,
People
dude.
love the burgers there.
Burgers are amazing. There's one down in Lodo right by Coors Field too.
Okay.
Took over the old Breckenridge space.
The Cherry Cricket. I'll check that out next time. In that
Oh, dude, you'll
vicinity.
fucking love it.
then you
Cherry
got-
Cricket's amazing.
We still got to go
I-
to Bud's Bar though.
Yeah, Bud,
Yeah,
well,
we do.
Bud's one.
Yeah.
We got to go as Happy Friday
Yeah,
and
yeah,
do a
we
Mile
gotta
High
do
Life
Field
thing
Trip.
down there and go have some fun. But
Can't wait for that.
Johnson's Corner also made this list. I'm not familiar with
That's
this.
almost up to Fort Collins. They're famous
it?
for their giant cinnamon rolls. Okay, here's a great story. My friend got a DUI up in Fort Collins driving home, and his car was in Hawk right across from Johnson's Corner. I had to drive him there, so we got breakfast. And then I've eaten there a bunch of times before. It's a good greasy spoon.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
I've never been up there for that one. Casa Bonita.
Getting ready to open.
Which
there.
Recently.
Never been.
Yeah. It's
Well,
fun. It's
go to the
it's-
relaunch.
It's the diving. It's the diving, which was cool.
Totally.
When I was a kid, and I know we've talked about this before on this show, but when I was a little one, I remember going in there, watching the people dive. What a great experience in a restaurant.
Yeah, it's fun as a kid, man.
I'm excited to see what Matt Stone, Trey Parker are going to do with this
Totally.
relaunch. I mean, I think they're going to keep the Colorado history, but I think there's going to be some tweaks that everyone's
Oh, I
going to
agree.
enjoy.
And then my brother's bar.
Oh, that place is tits, dude.
Is it?
Dude, that's down at like 15th and Platte. That's a Denver institution. Another burger joint. Get a JCB jalapeno cream cheeseburger.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah, that's killer. And it comes out just like in this wrapper, and then they bring you like a big tray of condiments. That's old Denver, like old wood, great tap list. That place is cool.
Fuck yeah, I want to check that out.
Yeah, man.
And you got Bojo's.
Yeah, and then Bojo's.
Which
mean-
you got to go. You got to go to the Idaho Springs one though. I mean, the one off Colorado Boulevard. I think there's one called like Colorado and Yale, somewhere
Yeah.
in that area.
And if you're Paul Caroli, you're annoyed that they trademarked Colorado-style pizza. But if you're a normal person, you don't give a shit, and you just go there and do it.
It's good. I mean, anytime we would hike St. Mary's Glacier up in Idaho Springs, Bojo's was the treat afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
On the way back, and that's what introduced me to honey on the crust.
Oh, that's delicious.
I never did that before. Honey on the crust, baby.
I love it.
It is
It is
good.
delicious. There's
It
some
is
good stuff up there.
controversial. Some people get all bent out of shape. about it.
What, like a pineapple on a pizza sort of thing?
I think
what
so.
if you got pineapple ham pizza and then you put honey on the crust afterwards? Like, are people going to shit their
That's,
dicks?
I mean, that's very
People are
sweet.
going to shit their dicks, dude.
They're going to shit their dicks. They might even queef their clits. But the thing is, Bojo's is fantastic. Idaho Springs has some really good food as well. Tommy Knockers is another one, but
Yeah, westbound and down.
that didn't make
so,
the list.
so
Didn't
John,
make the list.
because you've been to all of these, and
Yeah.
Kev, you can answer this question too, but your choices are limited compared to which one is your favorite out of all these,
Oh,
man?
Jesus Christ. I got to go with Cherry Cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna go with Buckhorn Exchange just because I like the environment and like the history it feels in there, like an old saloon, the swinging doors, kind of hee haw. I'm gonna go with Buckhorn.
Art?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I really like Sam Numbers 3. I like their menu.
It's a
Sam number
giant
3.
menu, dude.
Yeah, like you can get anything in the world that you want there.
Dude,
you know?
and the wait staff there is unreal because they're always like, they know each question to ask. How do you want your eggs? Do you want tots, hash browns, or home fries? white, wheat, sourdough, or an English muffin. You're going, holy fuck, there's a lot of choices.
Yeah.
And they have it all dialed in, and they're so fast. Sam's is always just amazing service.
I've only been to the two. The one right over here by our studio, right here at Havana and Parker area, right? And then the one by Art in Glendale. There's several.
There's one downtown.
Or one downtown. Okay.
So they got 3.
There's at least 3.
3 number 3s.
3 number 3s. That's right.
Trace.
All right, let's move on to shit to do this weekend. We got lots of playoff basketball and hockey. Let's go Nuggets here. Nuggets are up 2-0 on the Timberwolves. That is phenomenal. Hopefully they just sweep the Timberwolves, and 2 players I really despise on the Timberwolves just right out of the playoffs. That would be great. The Avs are playing catch-up right now.
They are.
As we record this,
Puck's getting ready to drop.
Yeah, Puck's getting ready to drop.
Seattle Kraken. They're in town.
So
come on, Avs. Let's go.
Let's see what the Avs
We got to win, hopefully.
Shout out to Mile High Sports, our sister site. Go there for all the great coverage. Also, Mile High Sports on the radio. You can find that. We'll have links to them in the show notes. Be sure to check them out. Great sports coverage there. Best sports coverage in Denver.
Absolutely. Hands down.
100%.
Bar none.
So also shout out to, I mentioned this already, our colleague Kip Wilson. He just won Westward Best Influencer. He was also in the Denver Post giving his 420 recommendations. And by the way, stoned or not, his recommendations are killer. Like, he loves Hop Alley. And not only Hop Alley, but he's got just banger after banger after banger. That guy loves, by his own admission, I had him on my show. He said, I love smoking weed. I love eating good food.
Stoned Appetite's fantastic.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a fun show.
It's very relatable.
Cool.
You know, you can twist one up, watch it, see where you want to go eat next, get hungry.
Yeah. What are you guys up to this weekend?
Man, hopefully you're going to be taking it easy. We might do a little bit of a podcaster meetup, it sounds like. And then, I got my NASCAR stuff to do. So my weekends are pretty predictable. I try to get rest when I can get it.
Yeah, I'm going to stay productive. I'm going to actually repair some things in some of the apartments that my papa owns. So even though I am a renter, I still put on the fix-it hat.
You still got to go to the Home Depot.
I still got to go to the Home Depot. And honestly, I like walking those aisles, man. I kind of have fun. You got your tape measure. You use that to point at stuff and, makes you feel important, And so it's a good time.
You got to have your 8 or 9-in-1.
The 8-in-1 is a crucial tool, and it's one of my favorites. It's done so many fantastic things for me and solved so many predicaments. So I'm going to be doing some of that. Hopefully just chilling, resting on Sunday, and getting back on it on Monday, man.
100%. Yeah, I'm going out for cocktails tonight. It's going to be great going to a cool lounge called American Bonded. So that's Johnny's recommendation for the weekend. Outside of that, man, it'll just be me and my kids. I missed my kids last weekend. What can I say? I'm fucking girl dad Jon Ekstrom, right? What can you do?
Yeah, that's right. Got to catch up with that girl time.
That's right. All right. So if you are watching us on YouTube, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Download the audio. You can do that on any podcast platform where you find it. Rate, review, and subscribe. We would appreciate that. Mile High Life is where you get all the best pods. That's milehighlife.com. If you want to follow us on social, please do. It's Happy Friday Den on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Happy Friday Denver is at gmail.com is where you can email us segment ideas, interact with us, fuck with us, get after it. It is your weekend, Denver. We are in the good part of the year. Utilize it. Get after it. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do. And we will see you soon. Play it, Justin.